That carton of milk in your fridge is a lie. You think you are pouring fresh dairy for your family. You are actually pouring a heavily processed fluid, bulked out with dairy wastewater, stripped of its nutrition, and in some cases, recalled for bacterial contamination that could put you in the hospital. I'm about to expose 8 Australian milk brands you need to stop buying immediately. And at the end, I will show you the 3 that actually pass the test. Stay with me. Number 1. A2 Milk. A2 Milk has built $1 billion empire convincing shoppers that their milk is easier to digest because it contains only the A2 beta-casein protein, avoiding the A1 protein that some claim causes discomfort. The marketing is brilliant. The price is premium. You pay significantly more per litre for A2 than standard milk because you believe you are getting a scientifically superior product. But here is what the marketing does not tell you. Food Standards Australia, New Zealand and the European Food Safety Authority have both reviewed the scientific evidence and found no substantial justification for health risk claims about A1 milk. The supposed dangers of A1 protein are not supported by robust clinical evidence. You are paying a premium for a single protein difference that major regulators say does not matter for health. But that is not even the worst part. In May 2025, the A2 Milk Company issued an urgent recall of its 2-litre light milk in Western Australia and Queensland due to Listeria monocytogenes contamination. Listeria. In a premium milk brand that sells itself as pure and carefully handled. The affected products were sold at Coles, Woolworths, IGA, and independent retailers. The use-by date was June 2025. This means families were pouring contaminated milk into their cereal, their coffee, and their children's cups, completely unaware that a dangerous bacteria was present. Listeria can cause serious illness, miscarriage, stillbirth, and meningitis. And this was not a one-off. In early 2026, A2 Milk recalled over 63,000 tins of infant formula in the United States due to contamination concerns. The pattern raises serious questions about quality control at a company that charges you extra for supposed purity. You are paying premium prices for a health claim that regulators dismiss, while the same company puts out products recalled for bacterial contamination. The marketing promises digestive comfort and superior quality. The reality delivers a premium price tag on a product that has been pulled from shelves for Listeria. The carton looks clean and scientific. The contents have been recalled for bacteria that can kill an unborn child. That is not premium milk. That is Russian roulette in a bottle. Have you ever paid extra for A2 milk? Tell me in the comments if you noticed any difference. And if you think paying more for contaminated milk is bad, the next brand is going to make you sick. Number 2. Paul's. Paul's is one of the most recognizable names in Australian dairy. It has been in fridges since childhood. It carries nostalgia, trust, and the weight of a national brand. But Paul's is owned by Lactalis, a French multinational dairy giant. It is not Australian-owned. It is not farmer-owned. It is a corporate asset managed from overseas, and that corporate ownership shows in the product. In 2019, Paul's was forced to recall milk products across multiple states due to contamination with food-grade dairy cleaning solution. The milk had a yellowish coloring and a metallic chemical taste. That is not a minor quality issue. That is industrial chemical contamination in a product marketed as fresh and wholesome. The recall was serious enough to trigger health warnings, but the deeper issue is what Paul's represents in the modern dairy landscape. As a major brand under Lactalis, Paul's sources from massive processing pools where milk from hundreds of farms is blended, standardized, and homogenized. The milk in your Paul's carton could come from dozens of different farms across multiple states. You have no idea which cows, which pastures, or which conditions produced it. The brand promises Australian heritage and family trust. The reality delivers corporate ownership, anonymous blended sourcing, and a history of chemical contamination recalls. You are buying a memory, not milk with a story. The yellow tinge in that recalled batch was a warning sign. It was the visible evidence of a system where cleaning chemicals and food products share the same processing lines, and where the rush to keep production moving can override the caution needed to keep them separate. When you pour Paul's, you are pouring a liquid that has been through so many pipes, vats, and standardization tanks that its origin is completely erased. The marketing promises heritage. The reality delivers a corporate commodity with a familiar logo. Did you grow up drinking Paul's? Let me know in the comments. Number 3. Pura. Pura is another brand that trades on heritage and trust. It has been around for generations. It looks clean on the shelf, but Pura is part of the same corporate structure as Paul's, owned by Lactalis through National Foods. And like Paul's, Pura has a dirty secret in its history. Internal documents from National Foods revealed that Pura milk contained up to 16% permeate. Permeate is a watery byproduct of milk processing, essentially a waste stream from cheese and ultrafiltration production. It is mostly water and lactose. By adding permeate back into milk, processors can bulk out the product, reduce costs, and standardize protein levels across seasons. You are not paying for milk. You are paying for milk diluted with dairy wastewater. In 2012, this scandal broke publicly. The Age reported that National Foods was saving nearly $23,000 per production run by adding 16% permeate to 350,000 litres of whole milk. Pura was one of the key brands caught in this practice. The industry eventually moved to self-imposed permeate-free claims, but the revelation exposed the core business model. Cut the product with cheap filler, charge full price. Hope the shopper never finds out. Pura also relies on aggressive ultra-pasteurization, heating milk to extreme temperatures to extend shelf life. This process can degrade sensitive vitamins and denature proteins. The carton promises pure, fresh milk. The history reveals a product that was bulked out with permeate and heated to destruction. The taste is dull, the nutrition is compromised, and the brand is still charging you like it is premium. When you pour Pura into your coffee, you're not getting the creamy richness of real milk. You're getting a thin, standardized fluid that has been mathematically adjusted to hit protein and fat targets at the lowest possible cost. The mouthfeel is watery, the foam is weak, the aftertaste is flat. These are not accidents. They are the signatures of a product that has been engineered for cost, not for quality. Have you ever noticed Pura tasting watery? Drop it in the comments. Number 4. Devondale. Devondale is the retail face of Murray Goulburn, one of Australia's largest dairy processors. It is everywhere. Supermarkets, petrol stations, convenience stores. It is the brand of big agriculture, and it shows. Devondale built its reputation on long-life milk, UHT, ultra-high temperature processing. Milk heated to 135 degrees Celsius for several seconds, killing virtually everything in it, giving it a shelf life of months without refrigeration. The convenience is undeniable, but the nutritional cost is real. Independent analysis and nutritional research shows that UHT processing can denature whey proteins, reduce vitamin availability, and create lactulose through lactose isomerization. The milk is sterilized, not just pasteurized. It is dead milk. It has no living bacteria, no active enzymes, and a cooked, flat flavor that bears no resemblance to fresh dairy. Devondale has expanded into fresh milk as well, but the company's DNA is UHT industrial processing. When you buy Devondale, you are buying milk designed for warehouse longevity, not human nutrition. The brand promises Australian dairy excellence. The reality delivers a product that has been thermally obliterated to survive supply chains. Your body recognizes the difference, even if the label does not. The cooked taste, the slightly metallic aftertaste, the way it behaves in your coffee, these are all signs that this milk has been pushed through processing extremes that no small dairy would ever consider. It is milk built for logistics, not for people. The shelf life is impressive. The nutritional value is diminished. And the taste is a reminder that convenience often comes at the cost of quality. Have you ever tasted Devondale fresh and wondered why it felt flat? Tell me in the comments. Number 5. Coles brand milk. This is where the deception becomes political. Coles brand milk is cheap. It is often the cheapest milk in the fridge, and that low price is not an accident. It is a weapon. In 2011, Coles dropped the price of its private label milk to $1 per litre, launching a supermarket price war that devastated Australian dairy farmers. The strategy was simple. Use milk as a loss leader to get shoppers through the door. Make up the margin on everything else in the trolley. The cost was borne by farmers who saw their farm gate prices collapse. Coles claims its private label milk is now permeate-free and sourced from farmer-owned cooperatives like Murray Goulburn and Norco. But here is the problem. When you buy Coles brand milk, you are buying anonymous milk. It is blended from multiple farms, standardized to the lowest common denominator, and packaged under a supermarket label that did not exist until Coles created it. There is no farm name. There is no breed information. There is no processing transparency. You are buying a commodity fluid, not a dairy product with provenance. In 2026, Coles raised its private label milk prices by 20 cents per litre, blaming Middle East conflict and input costs. But the underlying model remains the same. Milk as a strategic pricing tool, not a food product to be respected. The marketing promises value and local sourcing. The reality delivers a price war commodity that treats farmers as collateral damage. Every time you pick up that cheap carton, you are voting for a system that nearly destroyed Australian dairy farming. The $1 milk era was not a gift to shoppers. It was a transfer of wealth from farmers to supermarket shareholders. And the scars are still visible in the dairy industry today. Do you buy Coles milk because it is cheap? Let me know in the comments. Number 6. Woolworths brand milk. Woolworths brand milk is the other half of the duopoly disaster. It matches Coles dollar for dollar, price cut for price cut. And it suffers from the exact same problems. Anonymous sourcing, blended milk from hundreds of farms, standardized to industrial specifications, packaged under a private label that tells you nothing about where it came from. But Woolworths has its own specific stain. In early 2024, Woolworths removed Norco milk from approximately 90 stores in central Sydney. Norco is one of the last 100% farmer-owned dairy cooperatives in Australia. It is Australian-owned, it pays farmers properly, and Woolworths dumped it from shelves to make room for more private label milk. The move was described by industry figures as extremely disappointing. It showed where Woolworths' priorities really lie. Not supporting Australian farmers, not offering choice, maximising private label control and margin. Woolworths claims its milk is permeate-free and fresh, but the lack of transparency is total. You cannot trace a carton of Woolworths milk back to a farm. You cannot know if the cows were grass-fed or grain-fed. You cannot know how long the milk travelled or how aggressively it was processed. The brand promises fresh, local, affordable dairy. The reality delivers a black box commodity where your money flows to a supermarket corporation, not to the farmer who produced it. When you buy Woolworths milk, you are not buying dairy. You are buying a private label strategy. The carton is a vehicle for shareholder profit, not a container for farm fresh milk. And the fact that they actively removed a genuine farmer-owned brand to push more of their own anonymous product tells you everything about who they are really serving. Have you noticed Woolworths pushing its own brand over named dairies? Tell me in the comments. Number 7. Farmdale. Farmdale is Aldi's house brand milk, and if you have watched my previous exposé on Aldi, you already know how their private label system works. The brand name is invented by Aldi. The supplier is anonymous. The accountability is zero. Farmdale milk sits in Aldi fridges at prices that undercut even Coles and Woolworths. But what are you actually buying? You are buying milk from an undisclosed processor, blended from undisclosed farms, packaged under a brand that exists only inside Aldi stores. Aldi claims that 100% of its fresh milk is sourced from Australian farmers. But under current labelling laws, that claim only means the milk was processed in Australia. It does not guarantee the cows were raised well. It does not guarantee the milk was not ultra-filtered, standardized with permeate, or aggressively heat-treated. It does not even guarantee that the milk came from a single state. The Farmdale label gives you none of this information. It gives you a price and a promise. The price is low because the transparency is non-existent. The promise is empty because there is no brand reputation behind it. If something goes wrong with Farmdale milk, Aldi simply swaps suppliers, changes the label design, and keeps selling. The shopper never knows. The marketing promises German efficiency and Australian quality. The reality delivers a milk product with no provenance, no traceability, and no one to hold accountable when the standards slip. You are buying a phantom brand. It looks like a real dairy name. It is not. It is a marketing invention designed to make you feel like you are choosing a product when you are actually choosing a price point with a picture of a cow on it. The bottle is shaped like milk. The liquid inside is white, but the relationship between that liquid and an actual farm is so distant, so mediated by corporate layers, that calling it farm fresh is almost a joke. Have you ever bought Farmdale milk? Let me know in the comments if you knew it was Aldi's own brand. Number 8. Dairy Farmers. Dairy Farmers is another heritage brand that trades on nostalgia. The name sounds like a cooperative. It sounds like a group of local producers. It sounds trustworthy. But Dairy Farmers is owned by the same multinational structure as Paul's and Pura. It is corporate milk dressed in country clothing. And like Pura, Dairy Farmers was caught in the permeate scandal. Internal documents showed that Dairy Farmers' milk contained significant levels of permeate, the watery byproduct used to bulk out milk and cut costs. The brand was one of the major players exposed in 2012 for adding this dairy wastewater back into its fresh milk products. The company promised to go permeate-free, but the revelation shattered the illusion of purity. Dairy Farmers also relies on the same industrial processing model as every other major brand. Milk from hundreds of farms is collected, blended, standardized for fat and protein, homogenized to prevent cream separation, and pasteurized for shelf stability. The milk that ends up in your carton is a statistical average of industrial dairy, not the product of a specific farm or herd. The name promises a connection to the land and to the people who work it. The reality delivers a corporate product where the farmer is invisible and the profit flows overseas. You are buying a label, not a relationship. The green fields on the carton are stock photography. The reality is a factory floor where milk from hundreds of sources is mixed until it is indistinguishable. The farmer, whose name is implied by the brand, never sees your money. The multinational owner does, and the milk you drink is as anonymous as the petrol you put in your car. Have you ever bought Dairy Farmers thinking it was farmer-owned? Tell me in the comments if you were surprised. Now, do you see the pattern? Every single brand on this list shares the same core disease: opacity. They blend milk from anonymous sources. They process it aggressively to extend shelf life and reduce costs. They package it under labels that promise freshness, heritage, or health benefits that the product does not deliver. Some have been recalled for contamination. Some have been caught bulking out their product with permeate. Some charge premium prices for protein claims that regulators say are unsubstantiated, and all of them take your money while keeping you in the dark about where the milk really came from and what was done to it. The dairy industry has turned a fresh, living food into a commodity fluid. They have convinced you that consistency across seasons and states is a feature when it is actually a sign of industrial processing. They have convinced you that homogenization is normal, when it is actually a technique to hide variation and prevent cream from rising. They have convinced you that cheap milk is a bargain, when it is actually subsidized by underpaid farmers and corner-cutting processors. The entire system is designed to make you feel like you are making a simple, safe choice, when you are actually participating in a supply chain that strips value from the farmer, strips nutrition from the product, and strips transparency from the experience. But here is the part that changes everything. You do not have to drink this milk. There are alternatives. There are brands that pass the test, and I am going to give you 3. Number 1. Norco. Norco is Australia's oldest and last remaining 100% farmer-owned dairy cooperative. It was founded in 1895. It is not owned by a French multinational. It is owned by the farmers who produce the milk. In 2026, Norco won the CanStar Blue Most Satisfied Customers Award for fresh, full-cream milk for the 2nd year running. It was the only brand to score 5 stars for taste, texture, and packaging. Norco has also lifted its Farmgate milk price to 97 cents per litre as of May 2026, putting an additional $1 million per month directly into farmers' pockets. When you buy Norco, you know exactly where the money goes. It goes to Australian farming families. The milk is sourced from farms in northern New South Wales and Queensland. It is processed with care. It tastes like milk should taste. And the cooperative structure means the farmers have a direct stake in maintaining quality. The brand promises Australian farmer ownership and quality. The reality delivers exactly that. The difference in taste is not subtle. It is immediate. It is creamier. It has body. It leaves a clean, sweet finish rather than the flat, chalky aftertaste of industrial milk. When you pour Norco into a glass, you can see the difference. It is not just white. It has a depth, a slight creaminess, a richness that comes from milk that was handled gently and sourced properly. The cooperative model means that every farmer is invested in the outcome. They are not anonymous suppliers. They are owners, and that ownership shows in the product. Have you tried Norco milk? Let me know in the comments if you agree it tastes better. Number 2. Paris Creek Farms. Paris Creek Farms is a biodynamic and organic dairy producer in South Australia. Their milk is certified biodynamic by the Australian Certified Organic Standard. That means no synthetic chemicals, no genetically modified feed, no industrial confinement. The cows graze on biodynamic pastures managed as a holistic system. The milk is pasteurized but not homogenized. That means the cream rises naturally to the top. The fat structure is left intact. The milk tastes richer, fresher and more alive than anything in the standard supermarket fridge. Because it is not homogenized, your body can process the fat more naturally. Because it is biodynamic, the farming practices regenerate the soil rather than depleting it. Paris Creek milk is more expensive than standard brands, but you are paying for verified quality, not marketing spin. You are paying for a farming system that produces milk the way it was meant to be produced. When you open a bottle of Paris Creek and see the cream line sitting at the top, you are seeing proof that this milk has not been industrially manipulated. It is still structured the way nature intended. The fat globules are intact. The flavor is complex and sweet. The mouthfeel is full and satisfying. This is what milk tasted like before the industry decided that convenience and standardization were more important than nutrition and flavor. The brand promises biodynamic organic purity. The product delivers it in every bottle. The certification is not just a label, it is a guarantee that the entire system behind the milk, from the soil to the cow to the bottle, meets rigorous standards that industrial brands cannot even approach. Have you ever tried non-homogenized milk? Tell me in the comments if the cream on top surprised you. Number 3. Maleny Dairies. Maleny Dairies is a family-owned dairy on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. They produce milk in small batches from their own herd. They do not blend milk from hundreds of anonymous farms. They know every cow. They control every step from pasture to bottle. Their milk is available at select retailers, including Woolworths, and it is produced with a level of care that industrial brands cannot match. The flavor is clean and creamy, the sourcing is transparent, and the company is small enough that quality is personal, not statistical. When you buy Maleny Dairies, you are supporting a single-family business that has refused to join the industrial race to the bottom. The milk has a sweetness and a freshness that you cannot fake with processing. It is the taste of milk that was in the cow days ago, not weeks ago. The brand promises local family farming. The reality delivers milk with a face, a place, and a story behind it. The family behind Maleny Dairies has built their reputation on refusing to compromise. They have not sold out to multinationals. They have not adopted the industrial processing model. They have kept their operation at a scale where they can see, touch, and taste the quality every single day. When you drink their milk, you are tasting the Sunshine Coast. You are tasting grass and sunshine and careful stewardship. That is not marketing poetry. That is the actual difference that comes from milk that has not been blended into anonymity. Have you seen Maleny Dairies at your local Woolworths? Let me know in the comments if you have tried it. Here is the truth that should reframe how you shop forever. Do not buy the label, buy the supply chain. The big brands have spent decades teaching you to trust logos, colors, and slogans. But the only thing that matters is where the milk came from, how it was processed, and who got paid for it. If you cannot trace the milk back to a specific farm or region, you are buying a commodity, not a food product. If the brand is owned by a multinational corporation, your money is leaving Australia. If the milk has been homogenized, ultra-filtered, and aggressively pasteurized, it is not fresh milk. It is a milk-like beverage designed for shelf stability and corporate profit. The dairy industry wants you to believe that all milk is the same. They want you to reach for the cheapest carton or the most familiar logo without asking questions. But milk is not a commodity. It is a living food, and living foods deserve respect, transparency, and proper handling. The simple rule is this: look for farmer-owned cooperatives or single-farm dairies. Look for non-homogenized options if you can find them. Look for organic or biodynamic certification if you want to avoid industrial agriculture. And always check if the brand can tell you where the milk came from. If the answer is a blended pool of hundreds of farms, put it back. If the answer is a specific region with named farms, you are holding something real. The difference is not just ethical, it is sensory, it is nutritional, and it is financial in the right way, because your money goes to the people who actually produce the food, not to a corporate headquarters overseas. You are smarter than the packaging. You are smarter than the duopoly. And you deserve milk that is actually milk. Tap like so we can get this in front of every Australian who still thinks all milk is the same. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because we are going to keep exposing what is really in your fridge, what the labels are hiding, and where your grocery money is actually going. And now I want to hear from you. Which milk brand is in your fridge right now? Drop the name in the comments, because I am going to tell you whether it passes or fails.